there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to talk about Cassie Lang and Antman future balancing updates. And for those of you who are in somewhat of a rush, I would still appreciate like a like from you, but too long don't want to read is they're both fine. Cassie Lang isn't being changed at all, and future Antman is currently bugged, and he's gonna get his bug fix, which you could kind of argue is a small, somewhat of a tune down. But if you didn't notice that he's bugged, then it's just he's gonna be better than he is right now. And if you did notice that he's bugged, and if you were waiting for them to fix that bug and nothing else, then he's gonna be slightly less powerful than he would be fully bug fixed. Okay, so let's go through this, but the underlying message that I actually want to have in this video is that I am absolutely dismayed by Kabam, and I think they are taking the community for absolute idiots. I think they are getting as lazy and obnoxious about it as possible. So currently we are in a situation where we have one champion that isn't being changed at all whatsoever, even though, as we're going to discuss a bit later, there are things to be looked at which they did not acknowledge. We have another champion that has been bugged since release, and they will effectively be treating his bug fix as a balance change, and there is no other buff, which is the deal that they promised us. Talk about like bare minimum with extremely arrogant attitude. They're literally putting forward a bug fix as a balancing and using that as an excuse not to buff anything else at all that month. It's just not good enough. We went from like 4 proper buffs a month to 3 to 2 to maybe 1 if they have time to basically nothing, even though they're not doing anything. Like they are a filthy bunch of lazy liars. But let's go over it. So we have Cassie Lang, and basically, long story short, they're more or less happy with her. The problem is that Cassie is back to shreds right now. Her level 1 misses a ton, and there are plenty of instances where opponent throws special attack in middle of her heavy attack. None of that is acknowledged, but you know, it's Kabam's like what do you expect from it? That being said, I kind of agree. I wished they slightly increased Cassie's damage output, maybe scale her power stings and reduce the amount of them. Reduce the amount by 5 and make them slightly more potent or something of this sort. I would like Cassie slightly more if she ramped up a bit quicker. And that being said, overall, I love the champion. I have a rank 4. I think she's cool, and I'm glad to see that at the very least she's not getting tuned down. I just wish they would acknowledge the bugs and let us know when they actually are planning on fixing her bugs. Now, with future Antman, they stumble in dangerous wording territory. While some of his balance attribute data is coming slightly high compared to the target, his usage data indicates that this is due to concentration in hard counter scenarios, not his abilities being overtuned. This got me worried here for a second. But ultimately, they're saying they're more or less happy. With that said, Ant-Man has had 2 bugs since release. It's like they have no shame. And you couldn't have fixed these bugs. You couldn't have, oh, I was just so awful when it comes to dealing with bugs and their own screw ups. And now that they're literally trying to pass on a bug fix as a balancing update because they do intend to tune him down a bit from what he would be meant to be. But he's still going to be better than he is right now in the game because he's bugged. So the current situation is basically the first line doesn't matter. Ant-Man's special 2 description incorrectly indicates it deals on hit instant disintegration damage all the time. It actually deals that burst damage while power detonation's passives are on his opponent. We kind of clued up on that and we played around it and we realized what it's meant to be. This doesn't matter. Point number 2 is what's important. Ant-Man's glancing effects are missing the 50% damage reduction, 100% ability accuracy reduction, and anti-critical hit properties of glanced attacks. Antman's glances currently only provide the glancing trigger, such as for his own abilities like a nano armor upon glance. So basically, Antman's glancing is broken. It doesn't reduce opponent's ability accuracy, it doesn't reduce damage further as it should, it does not, provide any anti-crit props. So, fix the bug and let's move on. Our goal in this bug fix process is to ensure his ability effects and descriptions match that his original ability intent is showing up in gameplay and that his balanced state. It's like, where do we get a balanced state? Just bug fix him. Taking into account these goals, his original design intent, and his current strong performance, our plan is to leave Ant-Man special 2 as it currently functions and add the expected effects to his glance after tuning their potency to values that will enhance his defensive strength without giving him too much extra utility and sustain on attack. 2. Like, why? For specifics on what we're exploring so far, we're testing the following for all hits Ant-Man glances. Full anti-critical hit, 20% damage reduction instead of 50, 40% ability accuracy reduction instead of 100. Again, despite some of these being lower than default glancing values, all effects will be additions to Ant-Man's current power. That's a shitty way to try and get away with it. It's like, Ant-Man is doing well right now, but he's bugged. If we're gonna fix the bug, we're afraid he might do too well, so we're gonna preemptively nerf him before any of us ever get to play with him the way he was intended. I thought that, that's the point of these balance tests is give us a champion, see how he performs, and then decide whether he's too strong or too weak. Fact of the matter is, as of right now, not a single player ever has managed to get their hands on this champion functioning the way he was intended to. Not a single one of us who has a rank 4 Ant-Man has played the proper version of the champion. They just automatically assume that, we need to nuke it down. To help us accomplish our goals, and what's most annoying is they are treating this as a balance update and also as a reason not to buff anything else. Lazy gits. I swear to God, it's just pathetic. And despite some so to help us accomplish our goals with this bug fix, we're putting him through the rebalance beta process. We feel impact of the glancing effect bug fix is large enough that it benefits the same process and community engagement than any usual balance tuning changes would. And then they just say, the timelines. But are we buffing anything else? No. So we're effectively just bug fixing one champion. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to release champions bugged. If a champion is bugged, you're supposed to fix it before they're getting balanced. But now they're treating a balance update. Now they're treating a bug fix as a balance update and an excuse not to buff anything else. And I'm sorry, it's just extremely patronizing, thinking like, "Oh, that's normal." It's like, no, you stupid lying pieces of processed cat food. Shit. Like, do your job. Don't release bug champions. If you do, fix them properly. And most importantly, don't use the fact that you are actually fixing a bug as a reason not to buff anything else. Man, I suppose, with all the layoff. I don't know what to say. Just shit. It's again one of those backdoor garage company, 3 frat boys making a game type of situation. Just chatting shit. Fact of the matter is, none of these champions effectively is or at the very least should be getting bugged. This bug fix should have happened, and they should not be using a bug fix reason for balancing. Even if they do, there's still no reason not to buff at least do a value buff on a random champion. Because I swear, that office is like the most laid back, lazy group of freeloaders. Except the graphic design department. Those folks are awesome. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm just honestly frustrated. I really am. Because this isn't just lazy, it's also kind of like arrogant. Like bare minimum company described. Like, imagine you go to work, you break a window in your work, and then you say that I'm gonna be fixing that window today, and you should pay me, my regular wage because I'm working all day fixing the window that I broke. I don't know. Stupid dicks. Whatever. Bye. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the